Hey folks, it's another picker tip for you. Do you like my hat? Pretty cool. Empire Dray, which was a company out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, was a trucking delivery company sort of thing. Anyway, I got it from an auction in Winnipeg. It was Manitoba Clothing Limited when they were shutting down. They've been in business since the 1800s and 1870s, I think, but had moved in the 60s and had thus thrown out a lot of stuff, but they had saved stuff basically for years. So this building was chock full and they had an auction. Did pretty well. I ended up getting, I think it was 14 truck and trailer loads, quite a few. I was hauling for quite some time. A friend of mine, Zach, gave me a hand, and thanks again, Zach. I really appreciate the help. Anyway, the auction-wise, why am I talking about an auction when this is supposed to be a picker tip? Well, the thing is, I was the last guy there. Basically, I was there for 3 days after, moving stuff out. Basically ended up having to scrap some of the equipment and such I bought because I wanted parts and pieces off of them with these big steam presses and such. I had to break them up and scrap them because the deal was you remove your stuff, all your stuff. So anyway, I bought quite a bit, as you can tell. So between scrap and everything, like I said, 14 truck and trailer loads. So, but like I said, I was the last guy there. And what I do in those cases is end up picking the property after the auction's long over. After everybody's gone home, and it's just me and the owner, I can talk to the owner and potentially pick the property. This works only in those cases where it's on site, auctions that they hold in halls and at auction houses and such. This doesn't work, of course. But when you get talking to the owners, it's possible there are areas, buildings, and things that weren't in the auction and weren't ever going to go in the auction, or the auctioneer skipped over, or there was no interest in, or buildings they just didn't bother with because they're full of junk. And sometimes that junk is not junk, it's good stuff, treasure. So that's what I end up doing, and in this particular case I ended up getting in. There wasn't a whole lot of places to check out, but I did get in under the stairs and bought some stuff from under the stairs. And there was a little closet, and it had some equipment backed up to the door, and so they never did open the door. But once the equipment was moved, I happened to bought one of the big tables, or bought some of the stuff on one of the big tables that was backed up to that door, so it didn't get moved until I moved it. But anyway, that closet door eventually got opened when everybody had gone. I had talked to the owner about it and was allowed in, and looked in there, and sure enough, it was a sample closet. So there was all kinds of sample hats, and there was 2 old sewing machines. Most of the sewing machines that I bought were scrap, or I sold, got rid of for parts to a repair person, but I didn't get much for them. But there was a couple machines I did buy that were good, that he did pay decently for, which I was happy with. But anyway, this closet had these two machines in it. One I sold for $250, and another one was worth about $400 or so, made by the Winnipeg Sewing Machine Company, and there's maybe 4 known to exist. So anyway, there was hat samples, including, I'm not sure if the one I showed you, the Empire Dray, whether I got that separate or out of that closet. I can't remember, but it's still a cool hat. But anyway, I got quite a few others. let's see, Department of Tourism and Recreation, Manitoba, so a government issue. Parks and Rec, so that was a City of Winnipeg Parks and Recreation Department. Northern Messenger, which is a cool one. I also got two Shell Canada or Shell gas station gas jockey hats as well, and I got an A&W car hop waitress hat as well, kind of a skull cap sort of thing. It was shaped just like this right here. Just a little skull cap thing with a little flare there and had the A&W logo on it there. This one was in there as well. It's probably A&W or another car hop drive-in company or restaurant, I should say. There was also Metro Parks. Woo. Metro Parks right there. And did I show you Northern Messenger? I'll show it to you again because it's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, and there was a couple trucking company ones, Clark Trucking, a summer and a winter. Anyway, so that's it for hats, but there was a lot of them in there, or those samples in there, and I did very well. Did well at the auction and then did well picking the property after. I was able to buy some other stuff that was tucked away and did quite well. I did something similar at an auction quite some years ago. It was an old store that had been basically stored in a barn. The contents of the store had been shifted to a barn on this farm, and attended that auction, was buying quite a bit, but I found out there was toys that they had pulled from the auction, or they had not put in the auction rather, and the friend mentioned, or friend at the time mentioned, that these things were in the house and I should take a look at them. And so I went in and took a look at these things. There was a Coke truck, Pepsi truck, a UPS truck, and a mail truck, all in the original box. The box was missing the box top, unfortunately, but anyway, still in the original box. And these two of these trucks were quite rare. They were, this is, like I said, 20 years ago, and or 25 years ago, maybe more. But the trucks at the time were worth about $250 US each. That is the Coke truck and the Pepsi truck. The UPS truck and the mail truck were, I think, $40 or $50 toys. They were just little guys, made by Linemar, Mark's subsidiary out of Japan, and they were good. They were very good, but not for sale. But anyway, I looked at them and thought, they're cool and they're scarce pieces, nice pieces. And I gave them a card and said, if you ever want to sell them, I'd appreciate a call. I said they're good pieces. And they looked at each other and they said, well, we might. As it turned out, there was a miscommunication among the four of them, and each thought the other didn't want to sell them. Turns out none of them cared about them, and they were interested in selling them, and they sold them to me that day. I paid a fair price for them. I kept the Coke truck for years in my own collection, sold the Pepsi truck with a box to a local Pepsi collector, and did all right. So, anyway, it's well worth sticking around till the end of the auction, finding out who the owner of the property is, or who the caretaker or trustee or whoever's taking care of the contents of the property, who has power to sell. So, just poke around and find out. Keep your eyes open as to who the family is and what's going on, and get talking to them. Try to keep out of earshot of others. Do it later if you can, or before. Especially if it's a slow auction, you might be able to pick during the auction. Although I'd advise not doing that, I'd advise waiting until everybody's gone, because there's always some busybody that pokes their nose into your business, of course. So you want to pick in private. But anyway, hope you like that tip. Hope you can make use of it. So happy picking, safe picking. Take care.